I would like to thank everyone for coming to celebrate the graduates' achievements today. Before I share a little bit of my own story, I'd like to extend my gratitude to my family and friends for their enduring support, and to the many faculty and staff that have supported me throughout the years as well. Many years ago, during what was perhaps one of the most challenging times of my life, I received a letter from my brother, Zach, who is an actor living in LA. I was in the middle of serving a 3-year federal prison sentence for crimes that I committed as a radical environmentalist. I don't really remember his uplifting words, but to this day, I will be forever touched by a photo that he enclosed in the envelope. In what might epitomize the apartment of a young artist, my brother had taken a permanent marker and written quotations all over the walls of his apartment from his favorite actors and filmmakers. The photograph captured a quote from the filmmaker John Cassavetes, which read, "As an artist, I feel that we must try many things, but above all, you must dare to fail. You must have the courage to be willing to risk everything to really express it all." I still have this photo, and at its heart, I believe that this idea challenges us to not let a fear of failure stop us from trying to reach our dreams. While dare to fail has become one of my own personal mottos, many of us who stand here today, from the graduates who've worked 1, 2, or 3 jobs while in school, to those coming back to college after having kids, returning from a career, or coming back from the armed services, we have all realized that an element of our success comes from a dogged persistence to not give up, to dare to fail. And that is what has helped me and some dear friends like Honoré Depew, who's standing out there somewhere today, promote sustainability at PSU. It all started with one simple observation. We noticed that despite the fact that Portland has some of the best tasting tap water in the nation, a large number of people at PSU were still choosing bottled water, which research shows has high social, economic, and environmental costs. So we began a campaign to promote tap water on campus, to take back the tap, and we worked with staff and faculty to install filtered water bottle refilling stations throughout the campus so students and faculty could easily fill up. From our first water bottle refilling station in 2009 to the more than 20 scattered across campus today, we've continually dared to fail. We've learned to conduct research and to give public presentations. We learned to successfully write grants that have raised more than $45,000 to install these refilling stations, and we worked with student government to pass a resolution that recommends prohibiting the use of our student fees for purchasing bottled water. As another example, one day last year, I was getting lunch at the food carts when President Vivell walked past me with his lunch in hand. I knew this was a unique opportunity. After all, the president was by himself, and I think you had about 3 or 4 blocks to go until he got back to his office. So, daring to fail, I jogged after him. When I caught him, he asked me who I was and what I did at PSU. Feeling the need to establish credibility as quickly as possible, I blurted out, "I'm PSU Student Employee of the Year and Oregon Student Employee of the Year, and I want to talk to you about tap water." I laugh at it now because it was totally unnecessary since the president was already very familiar with a number of our efforts to take back the tap. But as a result of that impromptu chat, we were able to schedule a more formal meeting, which ultimately resulted in the president's decision to create a sustainable drinking water task force to better promote sustainability at PSU. While there is still much that needs to be done, we've worked with many people across the campus to change the everyday culture at PSU. If you walk into Smith Memorial Student Union at lunchtime, you'll often see a line of people at the refilling station waiting to fill up. And knowing that empiricism reigns supreme at an urban research university, we've had a flow meter installed on this one station in Smith, which allows us to measure exactly how much water is dispensed. I'm proud to say that this one station of 20, has saved more than the equivalent of 125,000 16-ounce bottles of water from ever being produced. And while I encourage you to dare to fail, I must admit that we have failed greatly throughout the process. We've held meetings that no one attended, we've talked with people that told us no, and we've spent our time sometimes neglecting our studies to write grants or apply for awards that we never received. But as my graduate advisor would say, it's all part of the process. Or, bear with me here, putting it in an entirely different context, as Michael Jordan once said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 3,000 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and I've missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. And that is why I want to challenge you all to dare to fail. When you consider that the news headlines from the most privileged country in the world are filled with headlines about global warming, losses in biodiversity, increases in social and economic inequality, disinvestments in public education, and a general breakdown in the overall sense of community and social responsibility that once made our country great, I hope you'll realize that we, as a society, have much work to do. So today, I challenge you to take PSU's motto to heart. I challenge you to let your knowledge serve the city, to find a little place where you can start to make change, and to not take no for an answer. I challenge you to dare to fail to solve some of our society's most pressing problems, because from my own experience, I know that although it will take some time and some defeats, it's true that a few dedicated people can indeed change the world. Thank you.
Oh, there's Martha.
Hi, Avery. 459.